This video is going to cover coterminal angles. Essentially what a coterminal angle is, if you think about angles, they'll end up somewhere. A coterminal angle is just an angle that ends up in the same place after doing like another loop, for example. So you can have positive and negative coterminal angles. Really all you need to remember is coterminal angles. You're just going to add 360 degrees, subtract 360 degrees, add 2 pi, or subtract 2 pi. Those are like your only options. So let's go ahead and get started. This first one, 75 degrees. If I wanted to find a positive coterminal angle to that, I would just add 360 degrees. So like this one would be 435 degrees. That's a positive coterminal angle. If I wanted to find a negative coterminal angle, I would just subtract 360 degrees. So this one, like negative 285 degrees, would be a negative coterminal angle. That's really all you have to do. So look at this next one, negative 210 degrees. If I wanted to find a positive coterminal, I would just add 360 degrees. If I wanted to find a negative coterminal, I would just subtract 360 degrees. And that would be it. Now where it gets a little tricky is when you have angles that are greater than like 360, but it's still not that bad. If I wanted to find a positive coterminal for 500 degrees, you could just add 360 degrees to this. If I wanted to find a negative though, this is where it would get a little tricky. You would do 500 degrees, you would subtract 360 degrees, so that would be 140 degrees. But if they say you need a negative coterminal angle, this angle right here is not negative. So basically all you do is you subtract another 360 degrees. And you keep doing that until you get a negative angle. So negative 220 degrees would be my answer. All right, let's look at this next one. Negative 1200 degrees. If I wanted a positive, I would start adding 360 degrees. So like this one, that would give me 840. Negative though, that's not positive yet. That's not a positive coterminal. So I would have to keep going and add another 360 degrees. It's still not a positive angle, so I would keep going and add another 360 degrees. And it's still not positive, so I would keep going. Until I got to a positive coterminal angle. Now, if I wanted a negative coterminal, basically, you can just subtract 360 degrees. But having said that, hold on, let me finish writing this. Having said that, all of these negative angles right here, after adding 360, that's technically a negative coterminal angle. So the easiest way to do it to stay consistent is just subtract 360 degrees, but just realize these are negative coterminal angles. All right, now let's look at the radians. In order to do this, you're going to have to realize that 2 pi is what you're going to be adding or subtracting. 2 pi over 1. Well, you're going to have to kind of scale this in terms of getting a common denominator. So like this first one, 2 pi over 3, I would need to add 2 pi over 1 to that. They don't have a common denominator, these fractions. So you're going to kind of have to scale it by 3 and realize that 2 pi over 1 is the same thing as 6 pi over 3. This is what I'm going to be adding or subtracting. So let's go ahead and work through it. This first one, 2 pi over 3. I'm going to add 6 pi over 3 and get my positive coterminal of 8 pi over 3. Now going the opposite way, I would do 2 pi over 3, and I'd be subtracting 6 pi over 3. That would give me negative 4 pi over 3. This next one, negative 5 pi over 4. All right, 2 pi over, let me start that over. 2 pi over 1. I need this denominator to be 4. Right there, I need that to say 4. So I'm scaling this by 4. So it's going to be like plus minus 8 pi over 4. So here we go. Negative 5 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 would give me 3 pi over 4. That's my positive coterminal. Now, getting a negative coterminal would look like negative 5 pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4, which would be negative 13 pi over 4, like that. This next one, 13 pi over 4, it's going to have that same 8 pi over 4 increments. So it would look like this, 13 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 to get my positive coterminal at 21 pi over 4. And then going the opposite way, I'm going to do it down here a little bit so I have some room. You have 13 pi over 4, and you're going to be subtracting 8 pi over 4. That gives you 5 pi over 4. Well, again, that's not a negative coterminal. That's still a positive angle. So this is when, just like over here, you had to do it multiple times. You're going to have to do this multiple times. So do it again. 5 pi over 4 minus another 8 pi over 4 would give me my negative coterminal at negative 3 pi over 4. Then this last one, negative 17 pi over 3. Just remember 2 pi over 1 is 6 pi over 3. I'm scaling it by 3. So to get a positive coterminal, it would look like this. Negative 17 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3. That would give me negative 11 pi over 3. This is not a positive angle yet, so I have to do it again. Negative 11 pi over 3 plus another 6 pi over 3. It gives me negative 5 pi over 3. That's still not a positive angle, so I'm going to do it again. Negative 5 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 gives me 1 pi over 3, or just pi over 3. That's my positive coterminal. And then technically all of these are negative coterminal angles, but the easiest way to do it is just stay consistent. So like negative 17 pi over 3, just go subtract 2 pi or 6 pi over 3 to get negative 23 pi over 3. So that's how you do coterminal angles. You're just adding one full loop, so either 360 degrees or 2 pi, or subtracting it. Hope this video helped.